That's why your car farts and this car pees. What's up, YouTubers? It's your old buddy Hardworker 12, and today I have a second generation Toyota Mirai to show you. What is a Toyota Mirai? Well, if you live in the United States but you don't live in California, you probably haven't seen too many of these around, because what this is an FCEV, a fuel cell electric vehicle. My understanding is that currently they only sell them in California and maybe a few in Hawaii, because we're the only ones that have any number of hydrogen filling stations that it would take to fill this thing up. I'll explain a little bit further, because what I'm going to do today is I'm going to review this car. I'm going to tell you what it is, give you some details on it. We are going to go over the cargo measurements of the trunk. We're going to look at the passenger room. We are going to look at the features on this particular Mirai, and we're going to look at fuel consumption as it is. As always, if some of that sounds interesting and some of it sounds boring, check the description below for timestamps and also for a link to a separate video that I did for a test drive of this car. So, just what the heck is this thing? Well, like I said earlier, this is a fuel cell electric vehicle. Essentially what that means is this is an EV, but unlike a Tesla or a Chevrolet Bolt, there's no full giant electric battery pack to propel the electric motors and potentially catch on fire. What this thing has is a very small battery pack and then onboard hydrogen tanks and an onboard hydrogen fuel cell. So the hydrogen tanks store liquid hydrogen, and it is shipped to the fuel cell when power is needed, and the fuel cell combines the liquid hydrogen with oxygen from the ambient air and creates electricity that way to feed the electric batteries. So ostensibly this is an electric car, it just uses a different source to get the electricity. And because hydrogen and oxygen combining create water, H2O, that's why your car farts and this car pees. Now I'm going to measure out the cargo space in the Toyota Mirai, and this is not going to take me very long because, quite frankly, this thing does not have a very large trunk. The seats don't fold down to make more room. It kind of is what it is, but I'll do it anyway. Consider it a public service. The length from the opening of the trunk to the rear, 2 feet 5 inches. The width of the trunk at its widest possible point, 4 feet 9 inches. The width of the trunk at its narrower point, 3 feet 9 inches. The height of the trunk on the interior, 1 foot 5 inches. And if you ever need to lift something into the trunk of the Mirai, you will need to lift it 2 feet and 2 inches off of the ground. And that's the cargo area of the Toyota Mirai. It's not very big. Now we're going to have a look at passenger room. And for this, I like to use myself. I'm 6'5", so let's see if I can sit behind myself in the Toyota Mirai. So as you can see here, I have the front seat set so that I can sit in it. Now I am 6'5". I'm a relatively large person, but I find that the knee room in the front of this car really leaves something to be desired. I'm comfortable in here. I drove the car for about an hour last night, just kind of getting a feel for it. And it really could use a little bit more room in the front. Maybe if you are a shorter person than me or a skinnier person than me, you won't have that issue. But I was surprised because this is a big car. It's actually based on the same chassis as the Lexus LS, and it really doesn't have a whole lot of passenger room in it. And in the back seat, the story really doesn't get any better, because behind me, as you can see, nobody could really sit behind me, which is surprising because this isn't like a 1999 Toyota Corolla. It's a 2021 sedan made by Toyota with 195-inch length. So yeah, the passenger room is a little bit of a disappointment for me. I mean, you can see this is a big car and it really doesn't have a whole lot of room in it. But, you know, if you're buying one in California, you might be riding by yourself a good amount of the time anyway, because one of the benefits of it is you get that beautiful carpool sticker. So if that's the case, I guess you won't really care about the backseat room in the Mirai. Now we'll talk about the features on the Toyota Mirai. This is an XLE model, which is kind of the basic model on the second generation, but it does come very well equipped. The first standard feature I'd like to point out is that it does have factory navigation, which is a feature that I really like. I'm not a big fan of using Apple CarPlay or Android Auto personally, even though both of those features are standard as well on the new Mirai. My one complaint is you get this nice big 12.3-inch kind of panoramic touchscreen, but at least a third of it is always taken up either on the driver or the passenger side with this sort of extra information panel that lets you see stereo information or control the climate control something, and I haven't figured out how to make that go away. That's a little bit of an annoyance for me. Maybe they could fix it with a software update, but kind of a small complaint. You do have physical buttons for the climate controls, which is nice. You have dual zone automatic climate control and heated front seats on the XLE. You also get rear air vents and rear USB ports for your backseat passengers with the limited room that they have. If you move up to the limited model on the Mirai, that also gives you 3-zone climate control so that your backseat passengers can set their own temperature, and it gives you cooled front seats as well as a moonroof and a few other little niceties. You do have wireless charging as standard on the XLE Mirai and Toyota's Safety Sense 2.5 system. Now, Toyota Safety Sense has become standard on pretty much every car they make with an automatic transmission, but they have different versions of it. So this is sort of the better version of it with pedestrian and cyclist detection and also the full adaptive cruise control with the stop and go capability. So that's a nice feature as well. Sticking on the safety front, we do have blind spot monitoring and rear cross traffic alert as standard features on the Mirai XLE. And this particular car is also equipped with the advanced technology package, which is an additional cost of $1,410. This gives you the bird's eye view camera, the front and rear park assist with automatic braking, and front footwell illumination. And of course, all of those features would be standard on a Mirai Limited. Another feature that I'm a big fan of would be the 14-speaker JBL sound system. It does sound great. It really does give you a premium audio feel, and that's a nice thing to have as a standard feature on this car. All right, so now it's time to fill it up. I got about a quarter of a tank left. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the nav, and I'm going to search, and let's go with points of interest. Select state province. Okay, fine. I'm in California. Category. Near here. This stupid car. It's still letting me search for gas stations. That's not going to do me any good. Other POIs. What in the heck? All right, so Toyota apparently was not smart enough to update their own navigation system, because I know this is the same system that they use in other cars, but obviously they know that this is a fuel cell car. Either I'm an idiot stick or they don't have hydrogen. Other POIs. Yeah, whatever. Okay, so we're gonna go to plan B. Okay, so I rented this car off of Turo, and the Turo guy sent me this kind of website with a list of places that you can potentially get hydrogen, and apparently this is every hydrogen station in the state of California. I believe at the moment, I'm filming this in January of 2022. I think there's 47 of them, but he said the status matters. If it's not green, it's not good. So I am going to make my way to one of these fine hydrogen stations, and we will see about filling this beast up. Okay, so here we are at this Chevron station. Allegedly, I can buy hydrogen here, and I believe it because I see the nose of a first-generation Mirai sticking out, and a big giant truck in the way. This guy, is this hydrogen? Oh, all right. We'll try to figure this out. All right, we're gonna pop the fuel cap. All right, so I got two options for hydrogen. I'm gonna go with H70 because that's what I just read on the internet is the best option for the Mirai. Whoa, this thing is cold. Ooh, all right, so that looks pretty good. H70. Oh, it wants my zip code. One moment, please. Please wait. Pump ready. Okay. Got some blue light. Oh! Something's going on. Press start. Fueling in progress. Allegedly. Oh, there it goes. I'm putting hydrogen in a car. I don't know why, but this is so exciting. There's a look at the new second generation Mirai for you. Oh, here's another one. This is a Toyota Mirai hotspot. If you're a Mirai spotter, that's the first gen, and that's the second gen. This is the place to be, baby. Well, this is funny. I'm actually paying for kilograms. It's like buying Coke. All right, so it's all full. Let's see. I bet if I just pull this. There we go. Got that off. And put this thing. Yeah. There we go. And I'm gonna put the little chain. Oh my God, this is so cold. I don't know if you can see this, but it's like there's like condensation coming off of it. It's so cold. All right, let's see how we did here. Okay, so here's the deal. It's kind of hard to calculate miles per gallon or this or that or anything else, but I just spent $52.60 for 4.068 kilograms of hydrogen. And that only took me about 200 miles because this car had a full tank when I picked it up. And at the time it had 2,957 miles on it. And now it has 3,158 miles. So I went 201 miles for $52.60, which is very, very bad. The one thing I'll say, if you do buy one of these Toyota Mirais new, you do get a $15,000, I guess, gift card or hydrogen card or something. Basically, Toyota gives you $15,000 worth of free hydrogen if you want to buy one of these, which is a good thing because it's getting gas mileage like a big block truck if you convert that into gallons of gasoline. I don't know. What's a gallon of gas? About yeah, I mean, I'm basically getting 20 miles a gallon or something in this thing, maybe, money-wise. So that doesn't make any sense, but the free hydrogen does. And I will say that I wasn't driving it gingerly, I'll say this. So anyway, that's how you fill up a Toyota Mirai. Keep that $15,000 hydrogen card that Toyota gives you handy because you're going to need it. Thank you so much for watching my review. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. And if you'd like to watch a separate video where I take this car for a test drive, there'll be a link somewhere down here where you can watch that. Thanks so much.